Hi, and welcome to On the Shelves at ACPL. This is video 3 of our new nonfiction series, and these books are about controversial things that are going on in our world today. And I actually have two groups of these controversial books, so let's get started. Our first book is a memoir. It is called Fairest, and it is by Meredith Talusan. Meredith was born in the Philippines as a boy. She grew up with her grandmother. She is albino, which means that she has no pigment in her skin. So she eventually moves to the United States and is perceived as white, goes to Harvard. But as she is navigating all of these rites of passage, she realizes that she is questioning what is her race, what does that mean, what gender is she really? She eventually does decide to transition to becoming a woman. Is she queer? Is she gay? While she was living as a man, she was in a relationship with another man, and when she transitioned, is she going to lose that relationship with that man? Is he going to accept her as a woman? Are they going to still have a relationship? So this covers a lot of the maybe perhaps taboo or topics that are hard to talk about. And in this memoir, Talusan covers all of these issues with a lyrical grace that many people have enjoyed reading and learning about her story. Our next book also deals with this feeling of sexuality. It is called The Fixed Stars. It's a memoir by Molly Wizenberg. Molly was 36 years old in a courtroom serving on a jury, and she found herself drawn to a female litigator. She had what she considered a heterosexual life before that, but realized in that moment that maybe it's not that we are born one way or the other, but that our lives can change, and the person that we need to be with us, that attracts us at that time, might change, and it might change from being a man to being a woman that you are attracted to. So this is a really interesting discussion of what it means to be homosexual or heterosexual or something in between. Our next book is Me and White Supremacy: Combat Racism, Change the World, and Become a Good Ancestor, and it is by Layla F. Saad. This began as an Instagram challenge to show your white supremacy, to challenge your white supremacy. It became a movement. She created a workbook, and then from this workbook has come this book. And as you read it, you learn to question, as a white person, what you do unconsciously to harm the people of color in your world. So if you are interested in studying how to become a better ally to people of color, this book would be a great book to pick up. The next book is also a book dealing with race. It is The End of White Politics: How to Heal Our Liberal Divide by Zerlina Maxwell. This discusses the fact that in our history, we have had exactly one president who was not white, and we have had exactly 0 presidents who have not been men. and the fact that that is still not going to change this year. We are going to have a white man as president no matter who wins. So how can we combat that? Not even combat that, but how can we expand our offerings of political candidates? How can we support the inclusion of women and people of color in politics? Our last book in this group is On Account of Race: The Supreme Court, White Supremacy, and the Ravaging of African American Voting Rights by Lawrence Goldstone. This talks specifically about the period of time between the Civil War and when Jim Crow laws came into being. There was a period of time when African Americans were allowed to vote because of the 14th and 15th Amendments. However, those rights were eventually taken away as political power shifted, as people tried to cater to some of these groups that they felt that felt like they were being left out, i.e. white Southerners for the most part. And we can't ignore the fact that the North had their own issues with allowing African Americans to vote. So this is a fascinating study of that time, and also a cautionary tale of how your rights are never quite as guaranteed as you might believe they are. So that's our first group of subjects that we are discussing in this election and in our world. Stay tuned for the next video, which will have some more options for you to choose. But as always, you can call any of our branches or go to our catalog at alamancelibraries.org to put any of these books on hold. Thank you, and I'll see you next time on the shelves.